Alright folks, Mr. Plotz here, hoping that this works. I was asked by a number of my Honors English 10 students, 10A students, if I could do an annotation for them. So here it is. This is a fresh text here that you're seeing. This is a piece by William Hazlitt, who was alive from April 10th, 1778 through 18th of September, 1830. He was an English writer remembered for his humanistic essays and literary criticism as the greatest art critic of his age. Wow, that's kind of impressive. Impressive. Greatest art critic of his age. Okay. And as a drama critic, social commentator, and philosopher. So basically, he was a thinker. Social commentator. That makes me think of things like maybe Bill O'Reilly, maybe Jon Stewart to some degree, but probably not a funny guy. Who's to say? He was also a painter. Ah, interesting. He is now considered one of the great critics and essayists of the English language, placed in the company of Samuel Johnson and George Orwell, yet his work is currently little read and mostly out of print. This all from wikipedia.org. Thanks, Wikipedia. I have this essay, it's an excerpt of an essay by William Hazlitt called On the Want of Money. Apparently it's an excerpt. It is from this piece called On the Want of Money by William Hazlitt. And it was selected for me by Ms. Denon, who teaches AP English 11. And I asked Ms. Denon if she would pick a piece for me that is a reasonably difficult piece, a piece that maybe they might see in AP 11 or at least that caliber. And I asked her to then tell me what the prompt was if it was from AP. And so the original prompt, this was an AP test, I don't know, some years ago, was write an essay in which you analyze the rhetorical strategies Hazlitt uses to develop his position about money. So the prompt tells me what are the rhetorical strategies that he's got and how does he develop his position about money. So On the Want of Money, it's called. Alright, so if you're wondering what this pink sheet of paper is, it tells me that if it goes any far higher than this, then you probably can't see that text, like you can't see the first line over here, but now you can. I hope that this works. I hope that this is useful for folks. So I'm going to start my annotation with a, sorry, start the time here. I'm going to start my annotation with a summary of what the piece says, and I need to understand what the piece says before I can do a summary. So at some point I'll probably think about chunking it. So I'm going to start by just reading the piece and seeing what I understand, what I don't understand, asking questions. On the Want of Money. Okay, so already just from the title, On the Want of Money, it makes me think, okay, is he meaning like wanting as in you desire it, you desire money in the typical way, or does he mean want as in lacking money? What is it like if you want money, or what is it like if you don't have enough money? And those are slightly different things. Clearly you might desire money if you lacked it, but that's not necessarily what that has to mean. Alright, so On the Want of Money, the excerpt, here we go. Literally and truly, one cannot get on well in the world without money. Alright? Why literally and truly? Why does he start with that? I'm not sure. Okay. To be in want of it. Ah, to be in want of it, meaning to lack it. If you are in want of it, so now I know he means to lack money, is to pass through life with little credit or pleasure. Bummer. It is to live out of the world or to be despised if you come... Oh, wait. It is to live out of the world. What does he mean to live out of the world? And what is the it? To be in want of it. To be in want of money is to pass through life with little credit or pleasure. It is to live out. Okay, so to be in want of money, this means to be in want of money, or to be lacking money. To be lacking money, to not have enough money, is to live out of the world, or to be despised if you come into it. Out of the world. What is that supposed to mean? Or to be despised if you come into it. Maybe he'll say more. Let's see. It, to be in want of money, is not to be sent for to court, or asked out to dinner, or noticed in the street. Okay, so to court, they don't mean judging and courting. They mean, so it is not to be sent for to court, to date. Okay, so when he says to court, he means to date. So if you don't have money, that means that people don't want to date you. They don't want to ask you out to dinner. They don't notice you in the street. Wow. That's unfortunate. Okay, really sad. It is not to have your opinion consulted or else rejected with contempt, to have your requirements carped at and doubted. I lost my place here. Okay. So if I'm just sort of summarizing these things as I go, so no dates. No dates, no dinner. People don't notice you if you're poor. It is not to have your opinion consulted or else rejected with contempt. Contempt. So I think I know what the word contempt is, but in case we've got anybody out there who doesn't know, I'm going to look it up. And contempt, the state of being despised. Okay, so if you are contempt, if you have contempt, if you are rejected with contempt, you are rejected with great scorn. Alright, people really don't like you. It is to not have your opinion consulted. So people don't care what you have to say, or else rejected with contempt. They scorn whatever opinion you offer. To have your requirements carped at and doubted. Carped at. So when I think of carped at, I think of like someone just criticizing you. And yes, to find fault or complain unreasonably. So an unreasonable complaint. To have your acquirements. I'm assuming that acquirements here means the things that you own, maybe the things that you wear. Own or wear. Doubted. Carped at and doubted. So people are going to criticize and doubt whatever it is that I bring. Bummer. Your good things disparaged, and at last to lose the wit and the spirit to say them. You don't even, so you can't even say, what is it, the them? What's the them? Your good things disparaged, and at last to lose the wit and the spirit to say them. What am I saying? Let's go back. It is not to have your opinion consulted, or else rejected with contempt, to have your requirements carped at and doubted, your good things disparaged, and at last to lose the wit and the spirit to say them. I still don't know what the them is. Let's see. What would be a plural noun? Things, acquirements. Okay, so if I'm in want of money, I'm going to have my acquirements. Maybe I should look up acquirements at this point. Since my best guess, it might seem like an important word here. Let's see. Acquirements, the act of acquiring. Thank you, dictionary.com. Not super helpful. Especially the gaining of knowledge or mental attributes. Okay. Ooh, okay, so it's not the things I own or the things that I wear. It is my knowledge. Okay, to have your acquirements, your knowledge. Alright, good thing I looked that up. It is to have your knowledge, your requirements, unreasonably complained about, criticized, doubted. Your good things despair. So people, anything that I think is good, people think, no, absolutely not. And at last, it is to lose the wit and the spirit to say them, to say your own ideas, your own knowledge. Okay, so you're no longer even interested in expressing your opinions, because this whole thing was about opinions. Okay, so the them is opinions, acquirements, good things. So no dates, no dinner. Nobody cares what I say. Nobody cares what you say. Wow, nobody cares about your ideas. It is to be scrutinized by strangers and neglected by friends. So strangers and friends, neither person really cares about you. Strangers stare at you meanly, and your friends just forget about you. They neglect you. It is to be a thrall to circumstances, an exile in one's own country. Thrall seems an important word, and it's yet another word that I don't know. So we're going to look up thrall. Thrall, a person who is in bondage, a slave. A thrall, a slave. So to lack money is to be a slave to circumstances. An exile in one's own country. What is so an exile? If you are in exile, it means that you have been exiled. It means that you are no longer welcome here. So you are an unwelcome person in your own country. All right. So what is that saying? You don't fit anywhere. You don't belong anywhere, and you cannot do anything other than what your circumstances are currently allowing. Okay. To forego. What is to forego? It is, this goes back to the it is to. So to be in want of money is to forego or to give up leisure, freedom, ease of body and mind. To be dependent on the goodwill and caprice of others, or earn a precarious and irksome livelihood by some laborious employment. Okay, so I don't know the meaning of the word caprice, but I know it's some sort of positive word because it's going with goodwill. I'm assuming it means generosity. Dictionary.com says a sudden unpredictable change. Okay, so the goodwill and the just like whims, I feel like is kind of what it's saying. The whims of others. So you either give up all of your leisure, all of your freedom, any ease of body, any ease of mind. You give up anything good that you have. You don't have the freedom to just think the way you want to think and have your body to yourself. You're dependent on other people, on their whims and of goodwill. Their goodwill and their whims, but presumably the whims of goodwill that they happen to then bestow upon you. Or you either do that, so that means like you're a beggar. So either you're a beggar, which means you've given up your leisure and your freedom, or you earn a precarious, meaning it is unstable, and irksome, very annoying livelihood by some laborious employment. So your job is unstable and it is frustrating. You don't enjoy the job that you do. It is very laborious. It is manual labor, hard work, physical work. All right. So you're a beggar or you have physical toil. Okay. It, to be in want of money, it is to be compelled to stand behind a counter, or to sit at a desk in some public office, or to marry your landlady, or not the person you would wish. All right, so that's kind of funny. I'm not really sure if he's trying to be funny, but I don't know. Suddenly, he just took a tone of humor here, and I'm not sure what he's doing, but I'll note that for later. Okay, so if you don't have enough money, you're stuck standing behind a counter or sitting at a desk in some public office. Okay, so this is not laborious anymore in the same way. But he seems to be frowning upon public service. It sucks to be a public servant, like a public school teacher. I'm going to disagree with you there, William Hazlitt. I like my people. Anyway, we'll keep going. To marry a landlady or not the person you would wish. Okay, so again, that seems to be going off of this whole freedom business. So you don't have the freedom, but he's being kind of funny. He's describing this is what you have to do as your loss of leisure or freedom or ease of body and mind. Okay, I'm just going to draw an arrow. It seems to go up to that. All right. Or to go out to the East or West Indies, or to get a situation as judge abroad and return home with a liver complaint. What is a liver complaint? Is he just saying that your liver has failed you because of what you've done? I've never heard of the word liver complaint. I'm thinking that means drinking, but I'm not really sure. Let's think about this. To go out to the East or West Indies. So he's saying, or to get a situation as judge abroad. As judge abroad. I don't know what as judge. I have a feeling that we're not meaning that you become a judge. It's to go out to the East or West Indies, or to get a situation as judge abroad. A situation as judged abroad. So you're going to go on vacation. You're going to come back with a liver okay. Alright. So I feel like what he's saying here is if you go on vacation, you come back and you got sick. And somehow that's because you don't have enough money. Alright. So this stopped being about what is it like to be dirt poor, which is kind of what I thought he was talking about at one point. It's not that. Like if you don't have enough money in your own opinion. Okay, his audience, his subject matter seems to be shifting a little bit here. So like these are people who have jobs. I was imagining like, okay, this is a person who doesn't have jobs, but no. Right here at this funny part, this is why this was funny. Okay, so the previous sentence, he was talking about you're stuck on the whims of others, the goodwill of others, or some really awful manual, hard physical labor. But then he says, it is, to be in want of money is to be compelled to stand behind a counter. So if you have some sort of a counter job or some sort of a public desk job, that's now equally bad. Or you're marrying somebody that you don't want to marry, like your landlady. Or you're going out on vacation. So, okay, clearly you've got money if you're going on vacation. He's doing something weird here. I'm not sure what he's doing, but I'll note he's doing something. He's talking about vacation. You go on vacation, you come back sick. So, vacation, and then you come back sick. Vacation, then sick. All right. Or to be a law stationer, or a scrivener, or scavenger, or a newspaper reporter. A scrivener. What is a scrivener? A notary. Okay, so like a public notary. A scrivener, a notary. I don't know what a law stationer is. Maybe he means somebody who works in some sort of a court. Basically he's saying anybody who does any sort of writing, major types of writing, that you don't have enough money. So you're not paid enough if you write for a living, which he writes for a living. You, William Hazlitt, you write for a living. Okay. I think you're poking fun at something here. So he comments on writers, different types of writers. Okay. What else? Or to read law and sit in court without a brief. Okay, so a brief is when you're in court and you file a bunch of briefs. You file a bunch of statements, research pieces that you have dug up, and you bring them to court because you feel like those are pertinent. So if you are reading law and sitting in court without a brief, you're bored? I don't know. You didn't do your work? I don't really know what he's getting at here. I'll put bored, but I'm not really sure what he's saying. Or to be deprived of the use of your fingers by transcribing Greek manuscripts, or to be a seal engraver and pour yourself blind. Pour, P-O-R-E, yourself blind. Okay, so deprived of the use of your fingers, it's not that you can't use your fingers. What he's saying is, if your job is to transcribe Greek manuscript, if your job is to translate things, or if you make seals, I don't think you're actually going to make yourself go blind here. Yeah, he's just picking out different. This is silly. This is very silly. To be deprived of the use of this is he's exaggerating what happens to you in certain jobs. Exaggerating jobs. The job duties. Not the job duties. The job. Outcomes. Pains. Job pains. It's not actually that hard. You don't actually lose the use of your fingers by transcribing Greek manuscripts. Okay. So maybe I feel like he's saying people just keep on complaining about their jobs and they think they don't get enough money doing the things they do. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. I can't even use my fingers anymore. Maybe some people say that after taking certain tests. I don't know. Or to go upon the stage, or try some of the fine arts. Oh wow, yeah, so starving artists. So it sucks if you are an actor. Okay. With all your pains, anxiety, and hopes, and most probably to fail, or to go upon the stage, or try some of the fine arts with all your pains, anxiety, and hopes, and most probably to fail. You are going to fail if you try the fine arts, or if you succeed after the exertion of years and undergoing constant distress of mind and fortune, to be assailed on every side with envy, backbiting, and falsehood, or to be a favorite with the public for a while and then thrown into the back. Oh, okay. There's a long sentence. Slow down. Okay. With all. What's with all? I think going on stage, maybe, with all your pains, anxiety, and hopes, and most probably to fail. Most actors fail, or if you succeed. Wow. Okay. So you can't fail or succeed. If you succeed, it's still going to be bad for you. He's definitely being funny here. After the exertion of years and undergoing constant distress of mind and fortune. Okay, it's funny that it says distress of mind and fortune because he's suggesting that you've earned a fortune, but you're distressed about it. To be assailed on every side with envy, backbiting, and falsehood. Okay, I'm assuming that backbiting is sort of like knifing you in the back. Not literally, but people envy you, people lie about you, people backstab you. I'm going to assume that means backstabbing. Or to be a favorite with the public for a while and then thrown into the background. Oh no, goodness me. So if the worst thing that happens is you become less popular. Wow. Okay, so if you're an actor or an actress, you're probably going to fail, but even if you succeed, it's so hard to be a public celebrity and to have fortune and have everybody, I wish it would, yeah, boo-hoo. He's saying, quit complaining. I think he's saying, quit complaining. Well, so that's my interpretation, is him saying, quit complaining, artists. What he's really saying is, literally, if I'm doing more comprehension thing, he's saying, it's really hard, it's hard to be an artist or an actor or an actress and be popular. It's hard to be a celebrity. It's hard to be rich and famous. Because my goodness, there's so many horrible things that come along with being rich and famous. Okay. And like, oh my goodness, people like you, and then, you're thrown into the background, how terrible. Or so this I know from previous reading, that's the word jail, but they just used to spell it funny. But even if I didn't know that, I'm going to see if dictionary.com has it. Yes, they do. It's a British word for jail. A jail. Gaol is RJAIL, like prison, but yeah. Or to be thrown into a jail by the fickleness of taste and some new favorite. Wait. And then you get thrown in the background, or a jail by the fickleness of taste and some... Okay, so so he's suggesting that you're going to go to jail because people like someone else. Jail because you're out of stardom. Highly unlikely. Yeah, that's funny, dude. Okay. To be full of enthusiasm. Okay, what is to be full? To be in the world without money is to be full of enthusiasm and extravagance in youth. To be full of enthusiasm and extravagance in youth, of chagrin and disappointment and afterlife. Okay, so if you're enthusiastic when you're young, if you're extravagant when you're young, you can't be extravagant if you have no money. To be full of enthusiasm and extravagance in youth. If you're extravagant, you spend a lot lavishly on overabundant things. Full of chagrin and disappointment in afterlife. Chagrin is a beautiful word that, much to my chagrin, much to my I think it means like dismay, sort of regret. Let's look it up though. Chagrin, vexed by disappointment or humiliation. Deep humiliation. Chagrin is deep humiliation. So if you're full of enthusiasm and extravagance in your youth, but then you feel disappointed in afterlife. I don't think he means after you're dead. I suspect he means in your non-youth, in your later years. So he's comparing young and old. Like, if in your youth you lived it good, but then you're like, oh man, I'm old now and I wish I would have done things differently. I feel like he's describing what many people are perhaps like. I don't know. To be jostled by the rabble because you do not ride in your coach, or avoided by those... To be jostled by the rabble, the people, the poor people. To be jostled by the poor people because you do not ride in your coach. Okay, so if you're riding in a coach, you are super rich. Oh man, it's so sad when I have to... So it's the super rich here. It's such a bummer that I had to go and walk among the poor people because I forgot to ride in my coach, my horse-drawn coach. To be jostled by the rabble because you do not ride in your coach, or to be avoided by those who know your worth and shrink from it as a claim on their respect or their purse. Okay, or avoided by those who know your worth. So people know that I'm a big timer, and they avoid me because they shrink from it as a claim on their respect or their purse. So people avoid me because they know me and they claim that they respect themselves too much, or they don't want to lose their money, so they're not going to go near me. Okay, that I feel like is talking about poor people again. I feel like he's talking about if you are the rabble and people avoid you because like, oh, I don't want to go by those people. They're gonna steal from me, as though you're automatically gonna be a thief if you don't have enough money. Okay. To be a burden to your relations or unable to do anything for them. relations, meaning your family members. So if you are a burden to your family members, or you are unable to do anything for them, straightforward. To be ashamed to venture into crowds. Why would you be ashamed to venture into crowds? I don't know. Why? To have cold comfort at home.